Welcome back to another tutorial in Fusion 360 using the Titans of CNC building blocks. Today we're going to create the part you see on your screen now called the Titan 2M. To start, we're going to take a look at the drawing here on your screen, and you should also have a paper copy. On sheet 1 we can see that we're creating a rectangular part. It has a thickness of 0.75. It has a length of 5 and it has a width of 1.95. Let's begin. Alright, so let's get started. First thing we're going to need to do is save our work so that autosave can be enabled. So we'll do this by going up to the data panel and going to select the class that you're in this case Skills 1112. Pick your name and pick the folder you're going to work in. You should already have a Titans folder. You will need to save this as Titan 2M. Then click Save. And now we're ready to begin. So now that it's saved to the cloud, we can close the data panel and begin. We'll start by creating a new sketch. We'll select that plane and we'll create our new sketch. What we'll do is we'll rename it to be organized. We'll call it Basic Shape. Click on 2-point rectangle and select the origin, drag it out, and type in the proper dimension, 1.95 and 5. Hit enter. Now we can finish up the part by extruding it into a solid. So we'll hit Finish Sketch, extrude, and type in -0.75. Enter, and there we go. We have our part. We need to put some chamfers on there. It's easiest to do it during the solid. Click on our 4 corners, and we have an equal distance chamfer on the sheet of 0.25, so we will make sure we have equal distance selected, and we'll type in 0.25. Enter. Now it's time to put the 8 fillets on each chamfer. We're going to select them rather than selecting them individually. We're going to use select by edge priority on this one. So what that does is if we select by edge priority, we can rotate the view to the front, and we can drag a box right to left, and we can select all the edges at once. And then we can type in our radius of 0.125. You must drag the box from right to left, otherwise it won't work. So after we hit enter, we have our part from sheet 1 complete, and we're ready to move on to sheet 2. So on the screen now we have our sheet 2, and from the sheet you can see that we have 6 holes we need to thread that are 1/4 20, and we'll start with placing the holes. So to begin, the easiest way to start this off is to just create a new sketch on the top surface. So click Create Sketch, click the top surface, let's rename it Holes, and we'll begin by creating points in the right locations. We'll roughly sketch them out, just drop them, and then we'll dimension them immediately after. So hit Escape, D for dimension, or click up here, and we're going to use the origin, click a point, type in the dimension, 2.125. Origin, point, type it in, 2.875, and we keep going. Origin this point, origin this point, type it in, 3, origin, this point. We'll go in the other direction now. 0.350. This point. We have 0.975. Origin to this point. Type it in. 1.6. And now we can use our horizontal vertical constraint to position the rest of the points. Once they're all turned black and constrained, then we can move on to the next step. And there we go. Hit escape, hit finish sketch, and we'll start and create the holes. Click hole. So looking at our drawing, we can see that we need to create 6 1/4-20 threads, minimum depth of 0.375 deep, but not all the way through, and it needs to have a chamfer with a 0.275 diameter. So we'll accomplish this by using countersink, tapped, and drill point. Will be angle. We'll select our 6 holes. Don't worry about the crazy shapes you see, because we're going to fix that in a second. Just select all 6 holes. And we'll start typing information in. So we're going to scroll down. Alright, our depth, we'll just go with 0.5. That gives us our past or minimum depth. We're going to enter in our countersink diameter, which is 0.275. And we'll scroll down. 118 degrees is fine. And our width, we need to specify by changing the size. 1/4-20 is close to 0.25. Click that. Now we can select 1/4-20. Needs to be 2B. And as always, we're going to make sure modeled is checked. And hit OK. And there are the holes we need, modeled to the correct depth. And that ends sheet 2. So here on sheet 3, we can see that we need to create 2 pockets that are the correct depth of 0.4 and finish it with some chamfers. So let's take care of that right now. Alright, so to begin, the best way to do this is just to create a sketch on top and extrude the pockets. So we'll click sketch, click top of our part, and we'll have a new sketch. Don't make my mistake and make sure you rename it. We'll start with a rectangle, we'll snap to the top, and we'll snap to the bottom. We'll make another one, snap to the top, snap to the bottom, then we'll dimension them. So D for dimension, or click up there, origin to that point, 0.5, origin to the next point, 1.5, origin to the next rectangle, 3.5, and finally the last dimension, origin to the rectangle, 4.5. Enter. Finish sketch. Click home. Extrude. Click our rectangles and extrude -0.4. Make sure it's cut and hit OK. So we need to finish up with some chamfers and fillets. We'll start off with the 8 radiuses. So we'll click the 8 edges that we're going to put a radius of 0.202. So that one, the next one, the next 4, 2, 3, 4, and type in 0.02. OK, hit enter. There we go, we got our nice little radius there. Finish up breaking all the harsh edges with a 10th out chamfer. So we'll click modify, chamfer, click the top edge, right there, that one there, that one there in the bottom, and type in 0.01 and hit OK or enter. And with that, the part is done and finished. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.